Welcome to The Explainer. I'm your host, and today we're shifting gears from just, studying the textbook to completely outsmarting the test. We're going to treat your Cambridge AS and A-level computer science exam like a championship chess match. We're diving into syllabus code 9618, specifically topic 4.3, bit manipulation. That's logical, arithmetic, and cyclic shifts. But look, this isn't just about what these shifts are. You know the basics. Today is all about how you can think 5 moves ahead of the examiner. We're going to decode the exact theoretical architecture and the strategic frameworks that literally separate the top-tier candidates from the rest of the pack. You're going to learn how to anticipate the examiner's next mental move before you even put pen to paper.
So why do students find evaluating algorithm efficiency so incredibly hard, especially when it comes to bitwise operations? This question is absolutely crucial because this topic pops up in every single examination series. It's a fundamental pillar of the Cambridge syllabus, right? Yet year after year, thousands of candidates drop really easy marks. They stare at a binary string, they know the basic rules, but when they're actually asked to evaluate the efficiency or the algorithmic impact of a shift, they just completely freeze. And it's not because they don't understand binary. It's because evaluating algorithms requires a totally different cognitive domain. You're moving from simple, rote knowledge to high-level analysis.
And the answer to why they freeze is honestly surprisingly simple. They memorize the steps, but they completely forget the context. The blunt truth here? Top-performing candidates don't just regurgitate facts. They demonstrate a connected, conceptual understanding. Principal examiner reports from Cambridge consistently highlight this massive pitfall. Candidates try to survive by just rote learning the mechanical definitions of a logical or arithmetic shift. But in the actual exam, you are rarely asked to just perform a shift in total isolation. You're asked to apply it to an unfamiliar context, right? Or to explain why an algorithm is failing, or how to optimize a piece of code. If you can't link those theoretical principles to practical causal relationships, your knowledge is essentially locked away in a box, and the examiner literally cannot give you the marks.
Okay, so here's our study blueprint for today. We're going to cover the challenge, the strategy reveal, the transformation, an interactive workshop, and finally, the final system. Let's get right into it. Act 1, the challenge. Let's look at the tale of 2 candidates. Imagine an exam question that asks you to evaluate the impact of applying 2 consecutive arithmetic left shifts on an 8-bit register containing a specific 2's complement integer. Now, this isn't just about doing the math, it's about the evaluation. Let's see how our 2 theoretical candidates handle this exact pressure test.
Notice the 2 most common ways people lose marks here. On the left, we've got Alex. Now, Alex is a hard worker, for sure. Alex overloads the page with raw computer science facts, defining binary, talking about CPU registers, drawing out these massive truth tables, but provides absolutely zero analysis of the specific shift they were asked about. Then on the right, we have Sam. Sam is quick, rushes the calculation, writes down the final binary string, but entirely misses the command word requirements. If the command word is evaluate or explain and you just give the final binary sequence, you're earning almost nothing. Neither of them demonstrated that critical connected understanding we just talked about.
Moving on to Act 2, the strategy reveal. It's time to decode the examiner's mind. We really need to understand how to structure answers to explicitly hit the knowledge, application, and analysis domains that examiners are actively scanning your paper for. When an examiner looks at your response about a cyclic shift or an arithmetic shift, they have a very specific rubric in mind. They aren't just hunting for the right binary output, they're looking for the conceptual pathway you took to get there.
And to navigate that pathway perfectly, we use the Peel framework: point, evidence, explanation, and link. You absolutely must use this framework to rigorously structure your extended responses. Every single sentence has to earn its place on that page. So if you're asked to evaluate a bit manipulation technique, your point identifies the exact shift occurring. Your evidence provides the clear notation or the actual binary calculation. Your explanation details the causal relationship, like how an arithmetic shift preserves the sign bit. And finally, your link connects it right back to the specific context of the question, maybe explaining why this prevents a system error. This structure literally forces you to hit every single assessment objective.
Before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now.
All right, now let's look at our standardized procedural sequence. This is what guarantees you those method marks. Step 1, deconstruct the question to find that command word. Step 2, extract the relevant data. Pull out that starting binary representation. Step 3, select the analytical framework. This means deciding if you're looking at time complexity, space complexity, or raw output. Step 4 is execute with clear notation, really show your step-by-step decomposition. And Step 5, present with correct terminology. If you follow this standardized sequence, you are proving your algorithmic thinking to the examiner. You're showing them the method. And honestly, that is often where the bulk of the marks actually live. Act 3, the transformation. Let's apply this computer science success blueprint. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock mentally to rewrite Alex and Sam's flawed answers into top-tier grade A responses. We're taking their messy, unstructured thoughts and running them through our new procedural framework.
But before we rewrite anything, we have to establish the ground rules. A logical shift moves bits and fills empty spaces with zeros, while an arithmetic shift preserves the sign bit. That's the most significant bit in a 2's complement representation. Now here's a massive examiner alert straight from the principal examiner reports. Candidates consistently confuse these terms. You must clearly define your terminology before using it in extended responses. Think about it. If you use a logical shift when you're actually dealing with signed integers, you're going to instantly corrupt the mathematical value of that number. And the examiner? They will immediately deduct marks for a lack of conceptual understanding.
Notice how the flawed approach on the left relies on vague details and totally misses the boundary conditions. Meanwhile, the top-scoring approach on the right uses cross-topic connections with explicit edge cases. It's like magic. The red pen marks transform into green check marks the very second we introduce specific, context-driven boundary conditions into the answer. Instead of just vaguely saying, the bits move left, the top-scoring answer says, applying a logical left shift multiplies the unsigned integer by 2, but we must check the boundary condition of the most significant bit to ensure an overflow error does not occur. See the difference? That is exactly how you demonstrate high-level analysis and guarantee maximum method marks.
Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2-3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to at acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions.
Okay, Act 4, Interactive Workshop. It's time to beat the clock. I'm giving you a 60-second mental countdown to apply these frameworks under simulated pressure. We've talked about all the theory, right? Now it's time to force your brain to actually apply it.
For Challenge 1, let's evaluate algorithm quality. We're looking at criteria like time complexity, space complexity, and edge cases. So, what is the core trend regarding how space and time trade-offs affect efficiency when you're using bit manipulation? Think about it for a second. Bitwise operations are incredibly fast, which vastly improves time complexity. And they use minimal memory, which optimizes space complexity. However, the catch, the trade-off, is the massive risk of edge cases, things like underflow during a right shift. Top-scoring candidates demonstrate true evaluative thinking by analyzing these exact trade-offs and openly acknowledging the limitations of their chosen algorithms.
Moving to Challenge 2, here are the top 3 mistakes pulled straight from examiner reports. Vague details, forgetting boundaries, and ignoring context. I want you to mentally identify which flaw ruins an otherwise perfect bit manipulation sequence. Let's say a student writes a flawless algorithm to perform a cyclic shift, where the bits that fall off one end are fed directly back into the other. The code itself is perfect. But the question asked how this shift affects a hardware controller's status flags. If the student only explains the binary movement and completely ignores the hardware flags, they've just committed the third flaw, ignoring the specific context. Always, always map your answer back to the actual scenario they gave you.
Now for Challenge 3, you have exactly 30 seconds to mentally decompose a cyclic shift problem and draft a systematic, step-by-step solution using our Peel framework. Ready? Your point. Define the cyclic shift. Your evidence. Note that the most significant bit wraps around to become the least significant bit. Your explanation. Explain that unlike logical or arithmetic shifts, no data is actually lost here. The bits are merely rotated. And your link, connect this to a practical application like cryptography or shifting visual data on a display matrix. If you can mentally draft that paragraph in 30 seconds, you are absolutely exam ready.
Act 5, the final system. Let's talk about securing your grade. It's time to look at the ultimate 3-rule system for 100% mark potential. This is the blueprint you need to lock into your memory right now.
Your total mark potential relies on 3 distinct pillars. Number 1, command word decoding. Number 2, Peel framework application. And number 3, the deconstruct, solve, evaluate matrix. If you diligently decode command words so you actually answer the question they asked, apply PEAL to structure your logic clearly, and use the deconstruct solve evaluate matrix to check for reasonableness and edge cases, you will mathematically maximize your scoring potential. You're moving from just blindly guessing what the examiner wants to systematically providing the exact conceptual proof they are legally required to give you marks for. It's a game changer.
And hey, the proof is in the results. Students who consistently practice this exact method, mark, strategy see an average improvement of 2 full grade boundaries. Let that sink in. That is literally the difference between a C and an A. It all comes down to abandoning that vague, fact-dumping approach that Alex used and adopting the structured, context-driven, PEAL-based system we've walked through today.
Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to @acetheexams_IGCSE and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by.
Drop a comment below with your target grade for computer science and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the Exams. Your Cambridge success starts here.
I want to leave you with this final, critical thought straight from the source. A Cambridge principal examiner said, "Always define terms before using them in extended responses." Keep this definitive rule in mind. If you master your terminology, rigorously structure your arguments, and always check those boundary conditions, you're going to be playing the game on an entirely different level. Keep analyzing, keep optimizing, but ask yourself, the next time you face a complex algorithm under exam pressure, will you be playing checkers or will you be playing chess? I'll see you in the next explainer.